Good morning, precious people. Here we are together, another fresh day. Take a deep breath with me and let's check in with ourselves. Did you feel anything? I know I have today just a little pressure in my head, so I must be thinking about something. I will go back through after this video and do my breath again and feel again, see what I'm feeling inside. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I have like some pressure in my head. I might just be sick or have a stuffy nose or something, but I'll go back and if I need a cool rag or something, if I need to do some little self-care to take care of it, I can do that. But you check in with yourself too. You are irreplaceable with your own unique experiences, wisdom, and light that you bring to the world. Whether you're sipping your first cup of coffee, I'm still on my water kick, easing into your morning routine, or if you're already deep into work, I'm so happy you're watching this video. Today is a gift. It is filled with possibility. Let's open it with kindness and curiosity. While we chat, let's remember we're still growing and learning. Give yourself some grace. So grab your favorite mug and let's welcome this day with open hearts and gratitude, because every day is a chance to learn a little more. You see how that thing was spinning around? I love it. I have water. You need water in the morning. It's so important. I even saw something yesterday that says that's the first thing you should grab. Don't go for your coffee in the morning. Drink your water. Give your wake up hormones a little chance to activate and settle down, and then go get your coffee. Okay, so what I wanted to talk today about was keeping your kitchen clean as you cook. I mean, it seems like such a simple thing, or it seems like something that doesn't cross some people's minds, but I found this article about keeping a tidy hob. So this must be from somewhere in the UK, probably. Whoever calls their kitchen a hob, or maybe a hob is a stove or oven or countertops. I don't know. I don't even, but I know it is talking about a kitchen. So it says rinsing a pan while the pasta boils looks practical, but through research on behavior, attention, and personality, it suggests this tiny habit reflects a specific psychological profile. So what this article is basically saying, and it goes through so many different things that a tidy cook has, and it's really amazing. And the thing is, why I'm presenting this information to you is, I don't know if the tidiness creates these other personality traits, or if you have this personality or a tidy cook, or if you don't have these personality traits and you'd like to develop them, maybe making little steps towards being a tidy cook can overflow in other parts of your life. So people who clean as they cook are making micro decisions about what matters now, what can wait, and how to prevent future hassles. So it's all about, these choices are about staying organized under pressure, controlling impulses, managing emotions, and thinking ahead. So a lot of these skills, once you've mastered them, it'll show up when you're cooking dinner, when you're in your kitchen, managing, putting things away, getting things out. If something is like a sour cream or mayonnaise or something, you don't want to leave it out the whole time you're cooking. So you'll use it or portion it out, put it back. And those can be behaviors that go into other areas of your life, like how you manage money, how you parent, how you maintain your house. So it's good to think about, like, are these things creating a tidy kitchen, or is my tidy kitchen, can it affect the rest of my life and benefit me in other areas? So people who keep a tidy kitchen, and this is off of the website cherimoraga.com, or Cherry, and it says clean as you cook info. So one thing people who clean as they cook have is a stronger executive function, and that's the brain's management system. It covers your working memory, flexible thinking, and self-control. So someone who sautés, is timing the oven, and wipes down the counter in between uh, just motions, uh, they use that system heavily, the executive function. So instead of treating cooking and cleaning as separate chores, that person can weave them in together. I wouldn't even call it multitasking. It's just like task stacking. Like, okay, I got to stir that simmering every 5 minutes or so, but I'm chopping up some raw vegetables for my other thing, but I have something in the oven at the same time. So how am I doing all those things and not leaving a messy trail behind me? Like, I'll stir, I have a spoon that's dedicated to the stirring, and I'll set that down. I have the knife I'm using and the containers for the chopped things ready. It really is like a lot going on in your mind when you're cooking, and you can actually clean as you go. Let's see. The people who have this stronger executive function tend to juggle deadlines better, keep track of commitments, and recover faster when plans change. So they're able to switch tracks in their mind. And since they've already thought through everything, they can be like, okay, now this. Now, these people also should have lower everyday stress and anxiety. A sink full of pans and sticky counters, an overflowing trash can, it gives you environmental stress. All of that, as you're cooking, all these messy things left in the sink, trash that hasn't been tossed in the trash can, open packages, that creates, as you're cooking, more stress in the back of your mind. So it says many people report feeling calmer as they move through a recipe. And then when the tasks feel lighter, because there's no big clean waiting at the end of the meal, it cuts your stress. So a lot of people cook for fun and pleasure and to de-stress, but a lot of us cook out of necessity, and we're on a time crunch and people are hungry and I got to do this next thing. So as you're cooking and you're cleaning, it just lowers your stress. Also, the people who clean as they cook have a high level of conscientiousness, which I talked about taking the Big 5 test last week, personality test. I believe on Sunday maybe I talked about that. But you can go online. I think when I took it, it might have been like $10 or something. And you can find out your level of conscientiousness if you take that online test. Just look up Big 5 personality test. And I feel like conscientiousness is something you can develop. It covers reliability, orderliness, and a tendency to plan rather than wing it. Although sometimes when I'm cooking, I do love to wing it, just depending on the ingredients I have. Sometimes you can't follow a recipe because you don't have all the same ingredients. So to me, that feels like winging it. Let's see. People who maintain order while cooking often show similar habits elsewhere. They're the ones who remember appointments, pay bills on time, and keep their promises. A lot of these people with high conscientiousness prefer solving problems rather immediately rather than fixing them later. They notice the small details other people overlook, and that is something I tend to do. sometimes I'll get hyper fixated on these little tiny details too. Then I'm like, no one else is seeing this. It's so funny. I have stories, but I'll save it. Where I get like super, oh my gosh, okay. Well, I'll just tell you, like at church when they have the screen up, if there's any sort of misspelling or the wrong word used, I'm like my eye goes right to it. I don't know why. Um, I think it is just my conscientiousness. Everything has to be in order. Um, People with high conscientiousness tend to engage in preventative health behaviors, like scheduling checkups, like drinking your water in the morning when you need it. So I'll go through a couple of these quickly. Strong impulse control. Um, so instead of that, I'll deal with it later. Mentality, you deal with it now. You can self-regulate. A sharper spatial intelligence, and I have to say this is something I do have. Cooking in a tidy way is like a puzzle. You need to track where everything is, predict where you need it next, and rearrange items so you always have space to chop and plate and mix things. This calls on spatial intelligence, the ability to visualize and organize the space efficiently. Clean as you go mentality, the people with that can map their kitchen, know how many bowls they're using, or how you can reuse bowl. Like the other day, I had a video of me cooking something, but then I was going to cook something afterwards, and I knew that pan that I'd cooked something in, the flavors of the thing I had just cooked would go really well in the hamburger that I was going to cook next. So I didn't clean the pan. I kept the little onion bits and little pork bits that I had in it to go in with my hamburger because I think it would add to the flavor. And I didn't have to wash the pan again. So spatial intelligence, pre-planning, knowing where things are and what you're going to use next. People have better emotional regulation who have this tidy mentality. Even like not your kitchen, but your life. At work, your desk space area, so you don't have to keep refiling, unfiling. You have like the frequent files you use, or in your inbox. When I was in HR for the federal government, I was asked a lot for forms. Where's this form? Where's this form? And I had them saved in like email draft where I could just just drop it into an email for them. So things you're using frequently, you keep closer to you and you keep those organized. Things that you don't use so frequently, you can put it in the back of the closet. You can put it in the back of the drawer in the kitchen. So people with the tidy kitchen, clean as you go mentality also have a natural mindfulness and presence. They're in the moment. And it's almost like cooking is therapy and meditation because they're present, they're here, they're seeing what they're using, what's coming next. And they say people who adopt this style say that meals feel more satisfying. They remember the process and not just the result, and they feel more connected to the food they prepare. So if you're in the moment while you're cooking, you're cleaning as you go, you can actually connect with your meal more. So that's great. Let's see. The last thing here they said was the people who have that clean as you go, keep a tidy kitchen as you cook, have a long-term thinking over short-term comfort. And I feel like this was already covered, like the ability to self-regulate and not save for later. Well, I guess it is kind of a different thing. So, washing a bowl while the kettle boils can save an exhausting half hour of scrubbing at 10 p.m. So, if your water's boiling, you're doing something else, you can soak your dirty bowl right then and clean it rather than waiting till you're ready to go to bed and you're trying to get everything cleaned up to go to bed. And then everything's dried on, stuck on. I totally get that. I will just, if I can't deal with something right then, I'll make sure at least it has water in it so that it's soaking. And the future me might be tired. Future me, I can help them by just doing a little bit of something right now. Clean the counters before serving. That means the meal will feel like it's in a nicer space. I will wash pans and things. Usually, what I do as I'm cooking dinner, if I cook the skillet meal, I will actually serve in the skillet on the table on hot pads. If I have salad or something that's in containers, where if the salad's not completely eaten, we just put a lid on it and put it in the fridge. So when I'm even cooking, I'm not even thinking about cleaning up. I think about the storage of the food afterwards and the dishes that will be created later. So a lot of times I'll cook in the skillet, we'll eat out of the skillet. I won't need to wash an empty serving dish and the skillet. It's just the skillet. So let's see what this also says. For people whose kitchens look like a bomb site, it doesn't mean that you're lazy or doomed. Sometimes you're dealing with energy issues, neurodivergent, depression, or a demanding household. Other people just have never learned the practical rhythms of how to work in the kitchen. So let's see. Simple test. It says you can test. Pick one meal this week. Aim to finish it with only 2 items left to wash. Set a rule. Whenever something simmers for more than a minute, you're cleaning something else. Notice your inner dialogue. Do you think, ooh, I'll regret leaving this? Or I deserve a break now. So the micro changes will show you how you can have bursts of effort, and you can be surprised by how quickly your mood shifts when the post-dinner cleanup is just non-existent almost. That's how my family does it. I cook and I try to clean as much as I can through the meal so I don't have a whole ton of dishes afterwards. But after the meal's finished, the rest of my family cleans up the meal, packs the things away in the fridge. Like I said, I try to make sure what I'm serving on the table is in a dish that has a lid that can just be put on it and put in the fridge. So putting away leftovers is easy for the rest of my family. The link between cleaning as you cook and psychological traits matters because it turns a mundane habit into a useful signal. It can highlight strengths you already have, like planning, patience, or emotional steadiness. It can also show where you need support, such as managing overwhelm or building routines. The way you treat yourself at the sink often mirrors how you treat yourself in your bank account, in your calendar, in your health. So if you constantly feel behind, start with something little, like cleaning as you cook in the kitchen or managing your morning routine. Kind of like yesterday, I decided to give up coffee in the morning after I watched this video about your wake up hormones, getting sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning, and not drinking coffee as soon as your feet hit the floor. Give yourself some time. So, and plus I'm trying to do the intermittent fasting, all that. I'm trying not to drink more coffee than by staining my teeth. So anyway, as we wrap up today's time together, here's my reminder to you to keep learning and growing. Every day you can uncover something new. You can become more of the wonderful person you are. You're valued and capable, and the world's better with you in it. So come back and meet me again tomorrow for more Wisdom, Heart, and Coffee. Until then, I hope you have a beautiful day. You are the Lord's precious one. Bye.